we were talking like every time me and Jamie like meet up and speak and stuff, we end up speaking about
the Grim Reaper,
Mattgic, and then like old shit, right? So when I was doing that plague, when I was doing that show, one of the characters I played was the Plague Doctor. There was another character I played called George Baker.
Was he the Grim Reaper?
He was not the Grim Reaper. George Baker was just an ordinary, normal dude.
Did he have the plague?
No, he didn't have the plague. That's George Baker. These are the references that I got for when I was doing the show. That's George Baker. He was just a normal, everyday, working dude that used to...
He has a very dodgy moustache.
What's dodgy about it?
It's kind of... Well, it looks like a slug on his lip.
Well, it's like...
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Late 1800s, early 1900s.
Go on.
Yeah. And then there was his wife, Meredith Baker, and then his son, William, or Billy, as they called him.
Okay.
So because Alex, who's our writer with the Murder Mystery Company that I work for, she likes to do everything like everything's got to be exact to history. So when we do it again. Like I think it's the end of this month. I think it might be the end of this month. Yeah, there is. End of the 28th of February and the 1st of March. We're doing it again. So we go around Tamworth, city centre, and it's not a murder mystery really. It's more like a ghost walk. Mm-hmm. So Alex takes groups of people around to different spots around Tamworth. And then she tells them a story, and then we actually dress like the characters that are in the story, which are real characters from history, and then we come out and act out scenes as those real people, right?
Right.
So that in that particular scene that we're doing, it's on Church. The house was on Church. Their house was on Church Street, which is 2 houses down from the old Stone Cross pub on Tamworth High Street. Well, it's Church Street. It's literally in between the church and the old Stone Cross pub, right? So 2 houses down from there. That was their house,
okay,
like a family household. And something horrific happened in that house involving those 3 people. And there's still, if you go down...
Was it that these 2 realised that their dad had a shit moustache?
I don't think it was a little bit more serious than that. It was a little bit more serious.
He grew up and developed a shit moustache as well.
I mean, he may very well have done.
Or worst case scenario.
He may very well have done.
She got a shit moustache.
Weird thing you say about him growing up is that he might not have done it at all.
Oh.
Because... very shortly after these photographs were taken, 2 of those people died.
He killed them.
Do you think?
Dodgy moustache.
He killed them with his moustache?
No, but it's just a giveaway. He's evil. He looks like Hitler. He's got a little...
Doesn't really.
Just a bit.
Doesn't look Austrian at all.
Get on with it.
But something really horrific happened to that family 2 doors down from the old Stone Cross on Church Street in Tamworth. And I had to play George. I'm not going to tell you what my role was and what I had to do because that would give away, obviously, what happened to them. But it's said that when you go to the old Stone Cross, which is the pub that's 2 doors down, you can still hear George. He was a bit of a singer. He used to sing quite a lot, and he'd come out of a pub of a night time and walk around the courtyard at the back and have a bit of a sing-song when he was on his way back to the back garden to get back in the house. And he'd do all kinds of, he used to like having a drink. And Meredith would be in the house because that's what women did back then. And little Billy would be running around in the street. And apparently, if you go to the old Stone Cross and you go into the courtyard at the back, you can still hear George singing sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And it was part of the murder mystery that we did as we were walking around. It's fascinating stuff. But the story about what happened to them was horrific. My mate Katie, actually, she plays a role of she was like a nurse, like nurse/waitress type, housemaid type person that was in a house that was on the other side of the street, and something horrific happened there as well. There's some really horrible stories about things that happen to people in Tamworth over the years. It's awful. Wow. And Katie has to dress like this nurse/housemaid type woman and go through what happened to her as well. But what happened to these lot was awful. But if you one of them survived, 2 of them died. But the weird thing about it is that's mom, dad, and child, and the two that died were killed by the one that survived.
Okay,
which is not nice considering
that's horrible. Family. But I've already solved the crime. It's
the moustache.
It's old Slugface.
Okay. Well, apparently, because I got these, Alex got me these. These are copies of the original photographs, obviously, but she got me them from the archives at Tamworth Castle, right? So what they do with all of these archivey type of stuff is they take them down to the locations that they were originally the incident happened, because they've got archives in Tamworth Castle. It's a massive room. It's kind of like the library thing at the Magic Circle. You know, they've got that little library to the side. It's kind of like that. They've got all the different stuff from over the ages around the room and stuff. But they take these artifacts down to the actual locations where these incidents took place. And then apparently weird things start happening. So this crime, I'm not going to ask you to try and solve the crime, even though you already have because of the moustache thing. I'm not going to ask you to try and solve the crime. What we're going to try and do is see if the crime can solve itself.
Okay.
So in here, I have what was effectively the evidence of what actually happened. And then we're going to see if this can solve itself to let us know what happened. So I want you to take those 3 pictures, hold them face down, just mix them up. Mix them up however you want. And then when you get the feeling to stop, the pictures will tell you when to stop.
I feel the urge.
They've told you to stop? I just pop one down there. Perfect. Mix those 2 up. When it tells you to stop, pop a picture down. Happy? So you want that one.
Yep.
So we'll keep that one separate, and then we'll have these 2 here. I'm not even going to look at them, actually. What I want you to do is take one of those pictures, take one of these 2 pictures, and rip it in half. Don't look at it, don't show me, but just rip it in half.
Really?
Yeah, rip it in half. And then put it face down back on the table. Can you, have you not got the strength?
Not really. Is this? Can I look at it?
If you want to. Don't show me, though.
It's kind of weird, hard to rip on that side. This side, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Okay, pop it down. And then that one, I mean, you can look at that one. Draw on the face of it. Just scribble all over the face of it. Scribble, scribble, scribble. It's weird, isn't it? Defacing historic artifacts. You don't have to draw a picture. Literally just scribble on it.
Hang on.
And
Done.
keep it face down as well. Okay, so...
Do you need this anymore?
No. Very good.
Skills that pay the bills.
So that's pretty... I mean, we haven't actually done anything. You haven't really made any decisions and stuff, but...
Yeah.
If it's true what Alex and everybody down at the castle says, this should have... The mystery should have solved itself, right? Okay. So in here, we have a picture that says survived. We have George, who is ripped in half. And we have Meredith, who's been scribbled over. Which is a bit weird. So that means that the dude that survived was little Billy.
Ooh, he killed his parents.
He killed his parents.
What
he actually did...
We should have known. Look at his face.
Yeah. He
Look at him.
dodgy, doesn't he?
Look at him. He's got that same sort of Kevin McAllister look from Home Alone.
Yeah. What actually happened was he barricaded them both into the house and then set fire to it. So they both burned to death.
Wow.
Yeah, which was nice to portray in the middle of Tamworth to 50 people every hour for 2 nights. But so let's see what you did. So you scribbled over Meredith.
And gave her a mustache.
And gave
her a mustache, sunglasses, and smoking a spliff.
You ripped George in half and picked Billy as the survivor. Solved itself.
Wow, I should be a police detective.
Well, you didn't actually do anything.
Fucking did.
The photos did it themselves.
I was the one that chose to put them down.
This is true. Maybe they told you what to do.
Maybe they did.
It's a bit creepy though, isn't it?
It was very creepy.